Yo, welcome to the work show where all we do is talk about work. I am your host, Trey Tuck. Welcome. Welcome to episode 30. Welcome to episode 30. I gotta take one of these joints out. This. I got new headphones. You know what I mean? This pristine sound. It sounds good. And to you guys, it probably doesn't mean much. But to me, it means a hell of a lot. Especially because the wired ones I had were janky and I couldn't really hear from them. Welcome back. I missed last week because I had an eventful Valentine's Day. And there was no point of me coming in and talking about it because I figured I'd talk about it when I wanted to talk about it. But happy to hear from you guys. Happy to see from you guys. For all those people that have seen the clips, I had the Kid Rock, the wonderful Kid Rock clip floating on TikTok and Instagram, and people were going crazy over it. Man, I didn't expect to see as many Kid Rock defenders as much, but it was something that was pretty funny. And as I continue to navigate, I'm starting to see how clip culture works and how important it actually is. So today's show is going to be a little different, just simply because I'm gonna be honest, I'm a little underprepared. I've been trying to. So this is a moment of transparency. I'm underprepared in this moment because I've been trying to figure out the right day for the schedule. A long time ago, I wrote up the schedule, what I wanted to do in the schedule, but I didn't follow it. And I've been trying to be a lot more consistent with this and just trying to make sure I'm more because I love to talk. Like, if I don't like anything else, I love to talk. I love to provide information, and I love to hear people give their side of things or just their recollection of how their mind works. I'm a psych person, so I really enjoy conversations that are intellectually deep and some that are ignorant, which is why this show is perfect for the people that like to find balance. Like, you're not going to get too much information to the point where it's boring, and you're not going to get it's not going to be so, I don't know the word. It's not gonna just be so ghetto and whatever the case is to the point where you're just like, I can't tune into this. So I'm working on creating the perfect environment for listeners and people to come in. And as I curate this, try to figure out what I can navigate. I do only have one voice, so I'm just trying to figure out how I can make this a one man show and make this something that's very entertaining for people because I feel like I'm entertaining. And I guess that's all you really need, right? Like, you don't even need people to tell you how good you are. You just need to believe in it. So I believe in what I do. I've done music for over 10 plus years, and nobody kind of believed in what I was doing, couldn't relate to the messages, and to the point where I got to the point where I didn't care, and now everybody loves it. So needless to say, I'm still working through it. We're on episode 30. This has been a 2-year process. I'm trying to get it done every week and then eventually 2 times a week, but that provides production, and I'm learning on the fly and, all those wonderful things. Kudos to everybody who's tuned in, who's ever heard, who's seen the clip. You're finding them online, going to the page, providing your responses, your comments. I appreciate it all. With that being said, we're going to start episode 30. This show, again, like I said, it's going to be a little all over the place. Just these are going to be more quick hits versus segments. And in the future, I want to bring back my ESPN ticker that I had, like, on this side right here, where I had the topics for the day and what was going to be discussed, or even have it on the bottom. I don't know. That's all post editing, and I'm figuring that out too. So, needless to say, let's get the party started. All right, so this came across my timeline yesterday, and I don't really know how I feel about it, other than it's kind of sad, right? Um, so yesterday, where is that at? That's whole different clip, huh? Yesterday, I was scrolling on my timeline per usual, where I get all my information from, which is Twitter. Twitter. I get all my information from Twitter. Uh, and I was doing that, right? And as I was scrolling through Twitter and all this wonderful stuff, this popped up, man. It's a video of Jim Jones. And for those who don't know, I'm starting with music. So this is a video of Jim Jones trying to kick into his studio And why is this important? Why is this relevant? For the people that don't know, so apparently, Jim Jones has a podcast called Let's Rap About It. And at some point they had said something about 50, and then 50 said 50 Cent, and he said, keep playing, I'll end up being the landlord, or something of that magnitude. And then he actually got on the phone with the landlord, and then he kind of exposed Jim Jones' dirty business, basically saying how he's not paying his bills, da 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 da. Like that's what's basically going on. So let's rap about it. I want to say around New Year's they did like a freestyle where they were all shooting at 50, all of them rapping, and that's great for hip hop culture, right? Except when you're 50 Cent. Except when you're 50 Cent. Um, he's like one of those people that is like petty to the core, right? So this video I just saw it, and I'm like, why is Jim? So it looks like Jim Jones is trying to get into his studio. He can't get into his studio because they locked it. They evicted him, quote unquote. And hold on, let me see. Through my headphones. So it looks like there's music playing right now, but I'll narrate. It looks like they're kicking in the doors. This is 2:19, so this is fresh. You know what I'm saying? This was on Thursday. They're kicking to get into their studio, and he ends up busting the door down. I'm gonna find the one that has actual audio though, because this music is crazy. Um, that Piff is trying to get in the content game. Let me see if I can find it. Where is it at? Where is it at? Where is it at? Let me find it real quick for you guys. Yeah, it's just unfortunate, right? Like I feel like I enjoy I enjoy petty beefs and things of that nature, but I don't really enjoy when it's like we're playing with lives here. You know what I'm saying? Like we're playing with people's livelihood. And I'm not saying this for 50. I'm just saying this in general. Where like 50, when you beef with 50, you know, he's not a person that you necessarily want to beef with. Like he's a person when you beef with 50, you got to be prepared because it's just going to be up. And what he's going to do isn't normal. Like he'll buy something of somebody's publishing. He's just he plays dirty, man. And to see this all unfold is crazy. So it says, I'm looking at the video. I'm gonna play the video and then I'll narrate it again. But it says 50 Cent says Sam is my partner. Sam is the landlord who was on the phone with 50 Cent. There was audio that leaked months ago, and he was having a conversation about what Jim Jones owes. Basically saying he owes about $80,000 in rent, and he also owns 50% of the business that Jim Jones creates. So it says, Sam is my partner. This is the IG caption. Sam is my partner. I own the joint. Now you're going to fix every door you kick, or I'm going to kick your ass, Jimmy, by Monday. You're destroying my property. So 50 basically he's partners with Sam, so he owns this and he evicted him. This is the video for those that can see. So that loud, like disheveled noise is Jim Jones kicking the door. Like he's doing like the whole, you know what I'm saying? He's doing the whole donkey kick. Like it looks so crazy. And then the lady comes out or somebody comes out and like, "Are you good?" And he's like, you know what I'm saying? He's like, "I'm good. Like you got a problem? Call the cops." It's just sad. Like it's just sad, bro. So I don't know if they owe money. I don't know. I don't know what it was, but it just seems to me that Jim, he's playing the content game, which is great, but you got to be prepared. Like you can't play the content game with everybody because some people just take it up forever, and how they carry it is not the same. It's different. 50 is different, yo. And that's one of the things that You know, that's one. I'm sorry. That's I was just reading something. That's one of the things that you have to be mindful of. And again, 50 isn't one of those people that they're going back and forth and both being petty because this is a video. Of Jim, like Dragonfly Jones, he's in the studio and he's breaking down like a wall or something, a brick. So I guess this is how they're beefing. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is how they're beefing. This is how they playing. This is how they giving it up. So it is what it is. To me, I don't really think it's funny. It's just like old men just kind of being super petty. But these are New Yorkers, man. It's a different type of energy. So shout out to both of those brothers. The one thing I can say though, I do appreciate that there's no violence getting involved. There's nothing crazy. It's just petty games. Hopefully, if what they're saying about Jim allegedly owing $80,000, hopefully it gets paid off, man. I know there's four other partners: Davies, Fab, Mano. So between all four of them, I'm sure they could pay it off. There has to be some type of stipulation going on. I know that he had mentioned that in the contract, he wasn't happy about the contract, so he never signed it. And I'm not gonna find the audio now, but it's out there, and it's just like, man, it's really one thing to, like, again, like I said, it's one thing to be messing around and this, but you're playing with people's livelihoods, so I think it's just a little different. Let's get back to more controversial topics, right? So, um, I don't even know, like, I don't even know where to really start. This is all February 14th stuff. I thought this was interesting. So let me pause it real quick. That's not interesting enough for me to talk about. This one is interesting because I want to know where people stand with this, and I'll tell you where I stand with it. Real quick. Let's see. So Disney, let me share the screen. Sorry, guys. Disney created a character. Disney created a character, or they had a black superhero. Uh, they had a black superhero named Captain Durag. So let's look at this real quick. Breaking news. Um, Disney is under massive backlash from the black community for launching a children's TV show featuring a new superhero created by Disney Jr. called Captain Durag, who can be seen flying around with the durag covering his face as a mask. Many black Americans feel like this is extremely disrespectful, but even more so during Black History Month. Disney took down this video and many other Captain Durag videos from their own YouTube channel, but I was able to recover this footage of his theme song. There is currently no confirmation if Captain Durag will return to Avengers Doomsday. That was funny.
You just go stand there all day like a bunch of soggy laundry? Help a brother out. A little flip.
So this is the first time I'm seeing this. All right. So this is a live review. I queued it up, but this is the first time I'm like seeing this. So I'll let you know my real time reactions and feelings on it.
Fold all the laundry tight. You gotta dip in. Then put these out of sight. When you're training to defeat the clutter, you need to whip it right. Let me introduce myself. Captain Durag, bring super
Oh my gosh.
For lunch. Flip it, dip it, whip it. I think I'm getting the hang of this.
Me too, AJ. I feel like a new rabbit. I usually only feel that way on my birthday, you know.
Flip it, dip it, whip it.
This is kind of crazy.
There's more where that came from, Super Duper AJ.
Then let me at it. I feel like a lean, mean peanut machine. Flip it.
All right, I'm gonna go. All right, I've seen enough. I've seen enough to draw my opinion. All right, man. Oh, that's what I want to show you too. Hold on, because this is another reason why it was being scrutinized. Not only for that, but who the creator was. Let me see if I can find her because I had it. Dang it, I should have bookmarked it. Let me show you. Where is she at? Where is she at? She was so basically the creator of the show or the idea that launched it was a female who what is this?
You're supposed to be cleaning your room right now. We agreed that you could only watch all the Captain Durag movies if your room was clean. And it's far from clean.
Come on, Mom. I can clean my room after. There's a new Captain Durag sequel coming out on Friday, and we need to watch all his movies before we see it. Let's just watch them instead. As a family.
Aw, so cute. I mean, puppy eyes ain't gonna work this time.
The Live City is a hot mess. Good thing I'm not a crime fighter. I'm a crime fighter.
All right, let me find a young lady that created this. Because that's important to my point. So I think that's her name right there. Trending. Was this her? No, that's not her. That's some other chick. Hold on. Let's see if I can find it. Let's see if I can find it. Unless they scrubbed it from the internet. So basically, while I'm trying to find it, the creator of the Captain Durag, the lady, Martellus Bennett created. Hey AJ. Camille, here it is, the writer of it, Camille Corbett. So they started pulling her coattail, right? They started pulling because normally when you do these things in black culture, it just depends on the taste of how you do it and in the manner that you do it, right? So it says Camille Corbett was the creator, the writer of it. She said, I created the character Durag Man, now known as Captain Durag, on the Disney show. Hey AJ, I'm just finding out people are finding it problematic. I just wanted our culture to have its own superhero. I need to find where they exposed this lady. Let's see. I'm sorry, guys. Like I said, I'm unprepared, so bear with me. Because what Black Twitter does is they'll pull your coattail to figure out like what is the issue, why is it an issue, you know what I'm saying? So they ended up finding, like, I physically saw it, I just didn't save it, I don't know why. Oh, here it is. As soon as I saw it, I figured these are people pulling the tweets of this young lady. It's a great day to be a Spanish-speaking Caribbean American, and before y'all miserable people say anything, yes, I'm effing black too, biatch. Let me find it. Here it is, right here. So this is the person who created it. This is what she said about black people. The worst part of being a black woman is knowing that all the hottest dudes of my race are in jail. There was another one where she said something that was very, very racist. So, you know, let me get to my explanation. My issue with this show is not because of how you're expressing yourself, right? It's not because of what you're doing for the culture. It's not what you're doing because of black culture or black exploitation. I don't think people have an issue with that. I think people have an issue with a superhero as Captain Durag, man. It's kind of like there's a lot of things black people could be superheroes of. They did a great job with Black Panther. Obviously, that was a Marvel character. Captain Durag is like very. It's like Black History Month. You're not really learning anything with that. It's not very revolutionary. I'm sorry, as far as trying to create something that is for us. We know we wear do rags, like we know we wear bonnets. It's just like that's not something that a do rag is worn in your crib. Like, if we're really being honest with you, like do rags and bonnets, you're not really supposed to be going outside with those things on your head. I know it's a culture thing. I know it's something that we've done. I know something that we love to do, but like that's not something you want to be known for. Like, as a culture, you have a superhero that wears a do rag. Like, you know what I'm saying? What is a superpower? What is the reason why he's wearing a do rag? The do rag covers his eyes. But the worst part about it is the lady who did it, the creator, she has these self-hating messages tweeting about them, and they're not like they're old. These were like in 2024. Like, you obviously have some type of feeling towards yourself to the point where you don't even realize it. And a lot of times what people don't understand about subconscious and your unconscious thoughts is that eventually they come to light somehow, some way. Right? Eventually they come to fruition and you don't even know it. The reason why you don't know it is because you've never addressed it, or it has some type of traumatic response in there. So, like, just to even have a superhero who wears a do-rag, like, I can tell that you probably didn't have too many black men in your circle, because if you did, they would have told you that's a great idea, but maybe not for a Disney character, and especially not for Black History Month to be released. That's not like, that's not like a braid, or that's like something that we use to cover our hair, to keep our hair pressed, or to keep our hair after being braided to make sure it's properly hydrated in it, and it, you got the grease and all that. Like, it's just like, no, like, so then you're gonna have a bunch of people wearing do-rags around. Like, that doesn't really mark our culture. That's not like a cultural moment. You know what I'm saying? Like, a cultural moment is Black Panther seeing the possibility of black people with advanced tech and the things that we'd be able to do with it. That's a moment. But to have this response of, well, I just wanted to create a moment for my people. I just wanted our culture to have a superhero of its own. We already have one. And if you want to keep creating them, we don't have to create things that are very stereotypical, because that's stupid. A do-rag man that's where you thought about, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's where you thought about where that's paying homage. There was no, right here, there's even a comment. We have to stop paying homage and start redefining how the communities perceive. We know we have do-rags, but what else can we be associated with? Scientists, astronauts, inventors, creators. It's just like, yo, I don't know. It's a bad thing. And like, even her responses to some of these tweets are like very like oblivious. We didn't know if this came from one of us. Can't be too cautious. I thought it was giving inside baseball. My bad. This isn't it. I'm not watching it. I would never watch it. I wouldn't have my kids watch it. So, I think when we pass these ideas, and the reason why it got passed was because it was an idea that was very stereotypical. You know what I'm saying? Because if it was something that was powerful, something like I don't know, somebody who was a astronaut that could, I don't know, just something. But just the do-rag just ain't really doing it. He's wearing a do-rag as a cape. Like, come on. We joke about it, but that's our culture. That's not something to be considered a superhero-like figure. If you saw somebody wearing a do-rag down the street, and like, we already had that too. Like, we had Blank Man, right? And Blank Man was funny. It was funny, and it was during its time. But if you did Blank Man today, it might not be as successful as what it was when it first was released, just because the culture is different now, and just the timing of it is different. So this is a bad look. I'm not gonna say a bad look. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna say a bad look, but it's just an unnecessary look, right? So I hope, with all this going on, because they definitely took it down, I hope she's able to find some type of enlightening moment where she's able to, where she's able to, I don't know, she's able to kind of come to the grips that maybe trying to create, you have to be a little bit more careful when you're trying to create black community centric shows, because that's not it. That's not it for me. I'm not buying that one. As we move along to what I'm not buying, let's talk about this, right? So, again, you guys got to pardon me this episode, but it is episode 30, so we're definitely going to be celebrating, right? Like that's fire, right? That's fire. You just have to pardon me. Like I said, I had a lot going on. But when I stumbled across this information, this was crazy. Like, to me, this was out of this world, right? So President Trump,
I want to let you know.
I'm sorry. President Trump created a board of peace. They created a association called a board of peace. Did a little bit of research on it. And because I saw this video that we're staring at right now, and for those that are listening, you'll hear it. But I saw this video and I was like, hold on, what is going on, right? So the Board of Peace was created by Trump, where he was a chairman for life, right? So it's a group of other people who are powerful, and they're, I guess, I don't know, they sit around and talk about peace, but it's the furthest thing from what this dude talks about. So it's that alone is already contradictory, right? But whatever. So when I saw this headline, I said, whoa, what is the Board of Peace? So Trump just announced the U.S. will be sending $10 billion to the Board of Peace, which is an offshore entity that he controls. The taxpayers' money went straight into Trump's personal power structure. So peep this. Listen to this, guys.
And I want to let you know that the United States is going to make a contribution of $10 billion to the Board of Peace. Thank you. And we've had great support for that number. And that number is a very small number when you look at that compared to the cost of war. That's 2 weeks of fighting. It's a very small number.
So he's already like trying to sell you. Yo, this dude is a nut job. He's already trying to sell people that even though we sent $10 billion to the Board of Peace, it's not really a lot. Like, it's only $10 billion, which is according to his calculations, it's only 2 weeks of war. So it wouldn't even suffice if there was war for 10 years or 5 years or whatever, right? So, that's very interesting, because right now this is the beginning of someone who's prefacing something he's already doing corrupt stuff, right? He's already doing things that are corrupt, but now he's prefacing that he's going to do more of it in the future. That's why he's saying this. People who are manipulative, they do stuff like this. It's like a setup. It's like a boxer that uses his jab to get to the hook, right? Like, he's just peppering you, and he does it. So that's why he says this, because if you're donating $10 billion to the Board of Peace, the first thing you're gonna think is what I did, was $10 billion to the Board of Peace. The next thing you're gonna do is say, what is the Board of Peace, right? That's the first thing you're going to do. I mean, if you're inquisitive, like, you're going to be like, what is the Board of Peace? So you're going to do like I did. You're going to go here, you're going to click, and then you're going to read a little bit. The Board of Peace, colloquially, all right, I can't say the word. All right, anyways, the Board of Peace, the Peace Board, is an international organization with stated purpose of promoting peacekeeping around the world. So, like, we already have a United Nations, and that's the United Nations job. There's 22 members. There's 22 member states. Argentina, Armenia, Bahrain, Bulgaria, El Salvador, Hungary, Israel, Jordan, Kazakhstan, Kosovo, Morocco, Mongolia, Pakistan, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, Turkey, United Emirates, United. I don't know if you're seeing a pattern here, but I am. And it's like this stuff is like right in front of our eyes. The 11 observers: Slovakia, Romania, Poland, Mexico, Italy, India, Greece, Finland. The leader, the chairman, is Donald Trump. It was created in 2015, mandated in November 17th, 2015, or 2025. I'm sorry. The charter was signed January 22nd. It's U.S. currency. Are we paying attention to what's going on right here? So they sent $10 billion of U.S. currency to the chairman, to the Board of Peace that Trump is the chairman for. But let me just keep reading, right? All right. It's an international organization with the stated purpose of promoting peacekeeping. Peacekeeping compromises activities to create conditions that favor lasting peace. All right, let's go back. We know the definition of that. Established by Donald Trump and led by the government of the U.S. The board is named in the United Nations Council as a body tasked with overseeing the process of the Gaza peace plan. So they sent $10 billion to the Board of Peace that is instructed to provide peace and oversee the Gaza peace plan. What is the peace plan? Let's look it up. The Gaza peace plan, officially the comprehensive plan to end the Gaza conflict, is a multilateral agreement between Israel and Hamas that aims to address the Gaza war and the borders, led by U.S. President Donald Trump. If you guys don't remember, maybe a year ago, he said something about how Gaza can be a beautiful place, and thinking of it in like a tourist aspect, which is insane, right? But here we go. The Board of Peace was proposed September 2025 and formally established on the sidelines of the 56th World Economic Forum in 2026. Several policy analysts and officials have expressed concern about the board's governance model, raising concern over decision-making authority concentrated in its chair. European nations have expressed concern over the possibility of the board usurping the role of the United Nations. Trump has stated that the BOP potentially could replace the United Nations, while also expressed continued support for the UN. So he's trying to create his own UN of corruptness. Crazy. But again, this is the key word, right? Stated with the purpose of keeping the Gaza. I'm sorry, I gotta read that again. As a body tasked with overseeing the processes of the Gaza peace plan. What are the countries involved in Gaza? Israel is one half. Is the other half there? Let's see. Let's see. You have Israel part of it, right? So that's one part. Hamas, right? And Palestine. I don't see Iran. I don't see Palestine. And I don't see Hamas. Here. I don't see it. I don't see it. I just see Israel, right? So if I have to put my conspiracy hat on, which I do really quickly, it seems like this Board of Peace is going to eventually try to strong arm the Gaza Strip for their benefit. And on top of that, right now the U.S. is at war, not war, but we're at odds with Iran about nuclear possessions, whatever. But went down a little brief hole. Let's get back to what we came for, right? Here we go.
And that number is a very small number when you look at that compared to the cost of war. That's 2 weeks of fighting. It's a very small number. It sounds like a lot, but it's a very small number.
Sounds like a lot. 10 billion sounds like a lot, but it's a real small number.
We're committed to $10 billion.
The U.S. has donated that, right? So in all of this, we didn't even think, like, where is the 10 billion coming from in U.S.?
Together we can achieve the dream of bringing lasting harmony to a region tortured by centuries of war.
Where is that money coming from?
That's right.
I got my guy right here to break it down for you. My guy Isaiah Martin. Let's listen to what he said. And shout out to him because I watched his I watched his I think it was what 30 versus 1 where it was him versus a whole bunch of MAGA enthusiasts. It was beautiful. If you haven't seen it, go see it. This is not a promotion. He didn't pay me for this, but he could. But yeah, it was beautiful. So, again, let's go back to my boy. Let's see what he's talking about. Because people like this kind of break it down for you can break it down for you better than I can. I'm not the best when it comes to this. So let's listen to what he has to say for us.
Trump's burning your money again.
The United States is going to make a contribution of $10 billion to the Board of Peace. And that number is a very small number.
I just want to make sure you understand this right. That's $10 billion of your taxpayer money into an offshore entity that he's going to effectively serve as chairman for life. And he's going to be able to send that money wherever he wants and to whoever he wants. Mind you, this is after he sued his own government to pay himself $10 billion of your money, $10 billion to his personal pockets, and another $10 billion to his pet project. Remember when he said that he didn't have any money to stop your healthcare premiums from going up? Yeah, because he took it for himself instead. It's the heist of the century. Trump's burning your money again.
You know, and then you kind of get into this territory.
This is a group called
breaking news, right? Trump's illegal tariffs are about to cause a huge mess in the U.S. economy. A coalition of 800 small businesses across the country who weren't happy about the tariffs, saying that they were the ones paying the brunt of these costs, they just put out a statement saying they are sending immediate letters to the White House and Congress demanding full and fast and automatic tariff refunds. We talk about how the refunds work for tariffs, how messy you envision this getting. Businesses will now request refunds, and there will likely be a huge class action lawsuit against the U.S. government. Additionally, the budget is about to have major issues.
Initial reaction from small businesses. A group called We Pay the Tariffs. It's a coalition of 800 small businesses across the country who weren't happy about the tariffs, saying they were the ones paying the brunt of these costs. They just put out a statement saying they're sending immediate letters to the White House and Congress demanding, quote, full, fast, and automatic tariff refunds. So as we're talking about how these refunds are going to work for these tariffs, how messy do you envision this getting?
And I know this is clip culture again. I'm sure there's more, but man, oh man, it's you know, I hate to say that we told you so, but we told you so. Again, I hate to say we told you so, but we told you so. I don't know if y'all recognize what's going on. And, you know, I think sometimes the truth can be blinding to people. But we're being distracted every single day with different things going on so we can be robbed by the U.S. government, i.e. Trump. He's robbing us all. And then he's pitting us against each other. And people are falling for it. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful plan. This is like watching a master villain at work, right? As much as you want to hate it, which I do, you can see how this manipulation works. It works on people who are less educated. It works on talking points that are mute. Of course, immigration, of course, like it's just like, yo, it works with people that don't understand how things work. I mean, what do we do? What do we do? What do we do, guys? Oh, look at this. This is like another, like distractions, right? Like, so, and this is what I was thinking too. I'm gonna find it, but I'm gonna tell you why I'm a little upset with President Obama. I'm gonna let you know why I'm a little upset about President Obama. I'll tell you exactly why I'm a little bit upset. gonna tell you exactly why I'm upset.
Not since fictional alien invaders did this to the White House in the blockbuster Independence Day has a U.S. president's views on extraterrestrial life drawn as much attention as Barack Obama's did this weekend when he was asked on a podcast,
"Are aliens real?"
They're real, but I haven't seen them, and they're not being kept in what is it?
Area 51.
Area 51. There's no underground facility unless there's this enormous conspiracy, and they hid it from the president of the United States.
That answer quickly generating 26 million views online and lots of follow-up questions.
Is this something that we should be concerned about?
Back in 2007, candidate Obama sounded far less certain about life beyond Earth.
I don't know, and I don't presume to know.
What was the first question you wanted answered when you became president?
Where are the aliens?
Where are the aliens?
But the former president, who has long declared himself a fan of Star Trek's highly logical alien Spock, quickly clarifying, "I saw no evidence during my presidency that extraterrestrials have made contact with us." Really? So the truth, it seems, may still be out there.
I'm going to tell you why I'm upset, right? With all this going on, I personally feel like let's break it down. Let's break it down for a second. With everything that's going on right now, with the Epsteins, with the Israel, with the Irans, with the Board of Peace, with ICE, with everything that's going on, I don't think Trump needs more ammo to do more diversions. I don't think he needs more ammo to create more diversions. I don't think people like the ex-president should be giving him ammo to create more diversions. I don't think we should be put in a situation where he has things where he can just use to our discretion. And these are things that people have always thought our aliens are real, or da-da-da-da. Like, this is something that we've always thought, we've always assumed, and just never had no proof. So I feel like he has to do more, he has to be more responsible because of this, right? This virality of these comments of him talking about aliens, that gives this dude more ammo. So prime example right here, right? Now, if there's no aliens, we'll still have distractions, but we don't have more distractions. But now, because there's aliens, look at this, the White House put out. Based on tremendous interest shown, I will be directing the Secretary of War and other relevant departments and agencies to begin the process of identifying and releasing government files related to aliens and extraterrestrial life, unidentified aerial phenomenon, and unidentified flying objects, UFOs. Dog. Obama, why would you give him more ammo to do this? So now in the next couple of weeks, we still haven't combed through the Epstein files. We haven't done all this stuff. So now this just gives his base more of a reason to think about this stuff and to make it be a distraction to the stuff that he actually needs to be addressing. Look, this is before I even said it. When you're desperate to make people stop talking about the Epstein files, forget Epstein, look, aliens. We are just one Epstein story away from Trump announcing that UFOs are real. You know what I'm saying? Like, shame on you, Obama, for that, man. Shame on you for that, yo. I expect you to be a little bit more understanding of the times and knowing that, like, midterms are on their way. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would expect you to be a little bit more understanding that we have to be locked in, and UFOs and aliens are not a concern at this moment. Unless are they rigging the election? Like, they're not a concern. So shame on Obama. I feel like I feel like he was being transparent, and I think he was doing his job to be excellent podcasting. Also, which reminds me, the Obamas were supposed to do a podcast a very long time ago, but it seems like only Michelle is doing it and Barack is doing other podcasts. Very interesting. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. Just my thought. I just peeped that. Crazy. Let's see. Do I have anything else I want to talk about? Yes. Peaky Blinders. So we're gonna go to entertainment. I'm gonna end this with some shows that I'm happy to be watching, some things I've watched. So first of all, you guys are gonna kill me, but I've never seen The Godfather. So the last like 2 weeks I've been spending time watching The Godfather, and it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Godfather's beautiful, yo. Um, I didn't like I said I wasn't sure. Um, like I knew the hype around it, but I really wasn't sure. Like, okay, like what is this about? But Godfather Part 1, Godfather Part 2, beautiful. Um, amazing story. It was pretty cool to see young Al Pacino, young um what's his name? Robert uh Robert De Niro. Um it was just great to see it all, man. It was great to see it all. But recently there was a let me see. Recently there was a clip floating around that surfaced the internet. One of my favorite shows of all time on Netflix has been Peaky Blinders. Love the show. I think Tommy Shelby, I think the whole storyline was great. I think it was just out of this world, right? Um and you know, I was waiting for them to come back with some type of spinoff, but they never did. Eventually they said they were going to come out with a movie, but they never released it. So, most recently we have action. For all my Peaky Blinders fans out there, we have action. We have action. We have action. You gotta be happy if you're a Peaky Blinders fan. So it says March 20th, Peaky Blinders, The Immortal Man is being released. Let's play the trailer.
Tommy,
Motherfucking
you live in a
Shelby,
house
boy.
haunted with ghosts of people who died because of you. You abandoned your kingdom, and you abandoned your son.
How does it feel to be a poor but from a now?
Your gypsy son is running the Peaky Blinders like it's 1919 all over again.
I don't know who the actor is as his son, but this looks crazy.
I can't help him because I'm not that man anymore.
I need to know that you are willing to take part in an act of treason that will decide this war for Germany.
The world don't give a fuck about me. And I don't give a fuck about the world.
I bet you decided this wasn't your war.
It is now.
If you know, like, I'm sorry, y'all, for the audio, you're just hearing it. But if you know Peaky Blinders, he comes back to the freaking bar, the pub that he was running all his business out of right now. That's what's going on in the scene. And it just looked different. People dancing, being drunk. It just looked different.
I'm looking for your son. Who the fuck are you?
Everybody stay calm, because this man, ladies and gentlemen, is Tommy Shelby.
Who the fuck is Tommy Shelby?
Perhaps someone should explain to him who I am.
I'm excited for this. Tim Roth, yep. Tim Roth is in it. Man.
Once.
I might have to watch the last season again.
But nearly doesn't count.
Crazy, 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 crazy. Crazy. That's gonna be that's gonna be good, yo. That's gonna be good. Shout out to all my Peaky Blinders fans. No sports news today. I haven't been watching the NBA. The only thing that was out there that I could report about was that they're looking into an anti-tank rule because all of the NBA teams are starting to tank. They're starting to be fined. They're starting to cost other people money. They're costing the books money, and they're starting to do that. But other than that, I guess sports, the Olympics have been great, yo. I don't know if anyone has watched the Olympics on here or been keeping up with it, but like it's kind of amazing on what's going on. Currently, I think Sunday is the last day of the Winter Olympics. Let's see. Let's get a medal count. Medal standings. And listen, man, I'm not like, I'm not anti nothing, but I've been watching the Olympics and I have to say I'm highly impressed with these athletes, man. It started on from 31 January to 20 February. Oh, and no. Did it end today? It ended last night? No, it didn't end last night. It did end last night. Wow, it ended last night. No, we're closing in on the end of Saturday is the last day of full competition. So today's the last day. Mixed team aerials against China. U.S. plays Canada in the bronze. Women's curling. U.S. sled, Callie Humphreys and Jasmine Jones entering for the two women bobsled. All right, let me find the medal counter though. Let's see. So shout out to the U.S. So this is the medal count. Looks like Norway is gonna take it all, which makes sense. Norway has golds. Has 18 golds, 11 silvers, 11 bronze. U.S. has 11 golds, 12 silvers, 7 bronze. Italy is actually in third place, but we're tied, so today's going to be a big day. They have 10 golds, 6 silvers, and 14 bronze. Runner-up after that is Japan with 5 gold, 7 silver, and 12 bronze. And France is right on their heels. So I don't think anyone's catching Norway. It doesn't look like it, especially in golds. But U.S. will probably come in second. I think they've been playing great though. I'm not gonna lie. I watched some figure skating. I watched a bunch of different things, and I think the U.S. has been doing great. So, big shout out to them. Big shout out to everybody who's playing and participating in the Olympics. It's great to see like there's 17-year-olds, people that are still in college. Like it's a beautiful thing. So, if there's a moment to be patriotic, definitely be patriotic while you're watching the games. One of the things I learned from it was that, well, not learn, but I know sports brings everybody together. You know what I'm saying? So regardless of whatever you're going through or what the country's going through, most times sports bring people together. So as we continue on, as I endure and keep moving forward, I want everyone to understand that, I want everyone to have a great day, first of all. Second of all, enjoy, the freedoms that you have. Enjoy the people that you have, because we never know when it's gonna end, and how everything's going now for the people that are Latino and different types of Hispanic heritage. Please be safe. Please continue to protest. Please continue to let your voices be heard. And let's show up in the November elections, right? Like we want to see change, we have to create change. So we should show up in November, and we should get the House back to where it needs to be, get the Senate back to where it needs to be. So maybe half of this stuff that's going on can be mitigated, because there's no everybody in there is chumps, yo. Letting this dude do whatever he does. So I say that to say, be good, be well. And this is the work show, man, where we talk about work. So I don't have a how can I make this work segment today, but I will have one next week where every Saturday new episodes are being launched, and we're going to keep going. We're going to keep being consistent, and we might have some guests on here soon. So shout out to everybody who's tuned in. Episode 30 was great. Let's try to get to episode 50. Let's keep hitting these benchmarks, and as we keep going on, we'll start to see more progress. And thank you for everybody who's been a part of the work show, everyone who's been submitting answers, people who've been participating. It's a beautiful thing. Thank you for that. The journey is going to be a fruitful one, and it's going to take some time. So shout out to everybody who's been very instrumental in that. So with that being said, I'm out of here. Peace.